Yes, we are live.
Okay, welcome everyone. Before we start the meeting, I would like for us to just take a moment of silence. We recently had a death in our community of a young boy, a 12-year-old who was killed yesterday. So I just want to take a moment of silence on. Thank you. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Lawrence Township Council being held on Tuesday, October 15th, 2024, has been provided for the posting of the annual meeting schedule of said council in accordance with Section 13 of the Open Public Meetings Act. Said notice was forwarded to the Trentonian, the Times, and the Princeton Packet on December 11th, 2023. We will now have our inspiration and pledge of allegiance.
May we carry out our work at this meeting in a just, honorable, and sincere manner, always bearing in mind our duties and continuing to give Lawrence a wonderful community in which to live. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, if we could have the roll call, please.
Mr. Bonnet?
Here.
Mr. Kanaki?
Here.
Ms. Perry? Here. Mr. Ryan can't be with us this evening. Mayor Farmer?
Here. I also wanted to just add that we have, on behalf of council today, Mr. Wes Bridges is with us today.
Present. Thank you.
And we just have a slight adjustment to the agenda. Our county clerk, Paula Cavello is here to read a proclamation for us. If you would please come up now, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I just want to say thank you for having me tonight, and I want to remind everyone it's the voter registration deadline today. So our office is open till 8 p.m. and the superintendent's is open till 9. So, if people want to go online, they still can. So I had to mention that as I left my office to make sure I came here today. That's and the township's open till 7. Thank you so much,
If you
Madam
could
Clerk.
just say that into the microphone so that the public can also
Oh,
hear.
of course.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I wanted to remind everybody that today is the voter registration deadline for the upcoming election, and you can register online at vote.mja.gov. My office is open till 8. The township is open till 7, and the superintendent of elections is open until 9 p.m. tonight. So make sure you're registered because you can't vote unless you're registered. But that is not why I'm here today. I actually am here, and I thank council to present a certificate of recognition for your recognition of Italian American Heritage Month, which is my heritage, and I'm from Lawrence Township, and I'm really proud to be able to read this tonight. So thank you. This is the Office of the Mercer County Clerk. Certificate of recognition is granted to Lawrence Township, whereas the Lawrence Township Council and its esteemed mayor, Patricia Hendricks Farmer, have recognized the important contributions of Italian Americans to our community, state, and nation. And whereas October is recognized as Italian American Heritage Month, offering a chance to reflect on the enduring legacy of Italian Americans and to honor their deep-rooted history, vibrant culture, and significant contributions to Lawrence, Mercer County, and the state of New Jersey. And now, therefore, I, Paula Salome Cavello, Mercer County Clerk, do hereby commend Mayor Patricia Hendricks and Farmer and the Lawrence Township Council members for their recognition and dedication to celebrating the heritage and contributions of Italian Americans. In witness thereof, I have here set my hand unto and affix the clerk's seal on this 15th day of October 2025. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you again, Madam Clerk. Now we will have a presentation of the Lawrence Hopewell Trail, a status and an update.
Good evening, everybody. My name is David Sandel. I'm the chair of the Lawrence Hopewell Trail Corporation, which is the not-for-profit that's guided the development of the Lawrence Hopewell Trail for the past 20 or so past years. And with me tonight is John Murray, who is my vice chair, and our engineer is actually on our board of trustees. So we're pretty well connected, and I think Tom has been a trustee as well in years past of the trail. This is not easy, doing trails like this. As you know, we're a partnership that involves over 20 different entities, municipalities, county, private companies, land trusts, the state of New Jersey, et cetera. So our job is to try to facilitate getting decisions made to get the trail built. So looking at the first slide, the map, which I think you've seen this, we're about 90% complete at this point. So the 20-mile loop with Lawrence Township here, down where the 5 is, Hopewell Township on another side. We're about 90% done, but 6 projects to complete to finish the 20-mile loop. 3 of those are in Hopewell Township and 3 are in Lawrence Township. So I'm going to introduce Mr. Murray now, and he can walk you through the projects.
Thanks, David. Thank you for entertaining us tonight, and it's great. It's a great time for the LHT. We're getting very near the end. As you know, it's been a 20-year labor of love started by our former presidents, Becky Taylor and Eleanor Horn. When they retired a few years ago, Dave and I picked it up, and we'd like to give you an update of these 6 segments that are outstanding. The first is in Hopewell Township. We call it the Mount Road West. That design is completed. It's in final review. There is funding for that project, so Hopewell Township will be putting that out to bid, hopefully before the end of the year. Section 2 is Mount Rose Preserve. That is in final design. There has to be some soil testing that must be done to confirm the stormwater management being handled properly. Once that borings are completed, design should be done, and that will be put out to bid. Number 3 is Cleveland Road. So that is our newest piece. We've just received the license agreement with the property owner, and we are just putting that out to bid. We've received funding from the DVRPC, the Delaware Valley Planning Commission, for that design. So we've received funding, and we're putting that out for a request for proposal to get the engineering completed. Item 4 is Pretty Brook, which Jim Parviz will address. And number 5 is Maidenhead Meadows, which is under construction. And the last piece is a little loop through Lawrenceville School, which is currently under construction. When they are finished with that loop, the trail will be connected through the school. Okay, maybe the next slide. This is what we call the Cleveland Road. This is the last section in Hopewell Township that will connect to Pretty Brook, which is in Lawrence Township. And as I said, it's about 2,400 linear feet. And we are putting that out for engineering bids in the very near future, hopefully this week or early next week. Okay, I'll turn it over to Jim. He will address Pretty Brook.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So, yeah, Pretty Brook Road, that's the extension from Cleveland Road, really into Lawrence Township, right to Province Line Road, designed as a 10-foot wide bike and pedestrian path. So these are just a few pictures along Pretty Brook Road. Kind of give you a flavor of what the road's like. Kind of narrow carway. You can see a lot of slope between the road and the properties, some vegetation. And these are a few renderings of what the trail will look like. Kind of starting in the left side there, that's a view, let's say more up towards the Province Line Road section. That's the first 2. The one all the way to the right, that's only down the bottom of the hill, going into Princeton. That's where we'll meet up with Cleveland Road. This is more right in the middle of the project, and where you have more slope between the road and the property. So you'll see, a few things like the retaining wall along the trail, Split rail fence to serve as a little bit of a safety barrier for pedestrians and cyclists. And then as you go further down the hill, you have the bridge across the tributary that leads to the Stony Brook. So basically this trail was intended to be fully contained within the public right of way. When we did some public outreach before construction, there were some people who expressed concerns about the location of the right of way, so we ended up doing a title search to confirm it. And it turned out there was a significant irregularity in that search in the right of way that showed up. So I just want to explain kind of where that's at. So this is the plan view of the project, starting with Providence Line Road to the left. If you look, the red line, just to point to so everybody knows where I'm at, these red lines here are the right-of-way lines, one below, one to the top. So on the first page, everything's fine. It's pretty much what we expected. That was based on the tax maps and the survey that was done for the property. But as you go along, you see things get a little bit funny. The right-of-way at the bottom of the page comes up to the center line of the road. Still not a problem for the trail because we're on the south side of the road here. But as you get to the last section where the bridge is, you can see what happens. The right-of-way, that red line on the top, diverges all the way down into the roadway. It actually comes to a point inside of Hopewell Township. So it's a very strange circumstance. It really didn't show up in the survey or the tax maps. So for that reason, we really, we've been kind of looking for options, what we could do, but really have come to the conclusion that you really can't advance the project without trying to acquire right away from that one property owner. And it's one owner that owns all the way from the Hopewell border all the way to the start of this issue, we call it, with the right of way. So really, next steps here. We originally anticipated building this project between 2024 and 25, and we'd hope to be kind of out the bid now and constructing next year. That's likely going to get pushed off 6 months or a year. We'll need an extension for the grant. We have a $802,000 grant from DOT, and that has a specific time frame to spend the money, so we'll need an extension for that. And then, I think we'd like to start the negotiation process with the property owner, and hopefully be in a position to acquire that land that we need. If we're not successful, we can come back and talk about other options. But I think right now we really just want to start that process of reaching out and seeing if they're amenable to providing the town with an easement. So that was, I think, the scope of our presentation tonight. We really just wanted to let you know kind of where this fits into the big picture of the trail, and if you had any questions. And like I said, we'll be back for those other items as we go along.
Mayor, I have a question.
Thank you.
Jim, the section where it's being proposed that we make an offer to the landowner, is there a home located on that property?
There is. It's, I would say it's about that driveway that you see right there would be the driveway for that property. The home is probably, it's hundreds of feet back, way back there.
So, yeah, because when I drove by, you can't see it from the road, right?
You can't see it.
Really far back.
Yeah.
You don't have a picture of it, do you?
Of the house? I
Yeah,
don't.
or the, okay,
But I could send you around an aerial to kind of show a little more perspective if you'd like.
yeah, that might be helpful.
Sure. You can do that.
Yeah, if I could, I just want, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, are the property owners willing to work with us?
I don't know. I haven't approached them yet. I wanted to kind of wait till we talk to council first, and I think we'll reach out now.
So it was just one property owner for an easement. The other property owners are impacted in that where we intend to go, where the trail is intended to be installed, is within the right of way.
That's right.
Accurate?
That's right. And the one property owner that we needed from, when we had public outreach, that owner did not attend. So we really don't have any, direct feedback from her, recently, either, for or against the idea of easement.
I would just say that one of the things that John and I and the rest of our trustees agreed about a year and a half ago now is we would like to complete the whole loop by 2026. So there's a little bit of a competition here. The Cleveland Road piece that just came into an agreement with the property owner this past year, early this past year. We're trying to make it as rapid as possible, as progress as possible. But the other thing we want to make sure is we coordinate between that property owner, the municipality of Municipal Township, in this case DVRPC, also Lawrence Township, to make sure the pieces come together as well as they can. I would say just a couple of advertising things. The trail hosts about 100,000 visits a year. So it's quite an amenity. We find on our website that most of our viewers are from Mercer County, but nearly half are from New York City and Philadelphia. So people are looking to Lawrence Ultra Trail as a place to come to enjoy nature, exercise, so on and so forth. And the last little bit is, you may have seen some of the press coverage, our full moon bike ride, which is quite an event, attracted 540 riders this year, which is about a 40% increase over last year. So it is quite a thing. Anyway, we thank you for your time tonight.
I have, Mayor,
Sure, Councilman Gray.
I have one question for, well, any of you, actually. It's, as someone who's had to run along Princeton Pike because I couldn't get from Maidenhead Meadows to the Braley House.
Yeah.
Do you know when the Maidenhead portion will be complete?
Sure. It's under construction now. I would say it'll be mostly complete probably by March, but the final, there's some asphalt out there that won't get put down till April. But the entire boardwalk section will be open probably in March. And so very, very soon.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you for your presentation.
So the only thing that I would say to you all is that we probably need some consensus from you as to whether or not we should at least explore engaging the property owner to see, what their feelings are to that. And I don't know if you want to think about it and let me know, or if there's a consensus now. I think the ask is not, I don't think that would hurt, obviously, to see, we won't know how they feel about this until we ask, and then I could report back to you. So is there a
If
feeling
you'd
among
like,
you?
we could take do you want to take like a poll?
Yeah, if there's a consensus among you, where we can just engage the property owner just to see, share the plans with the property owner and inform them of what our proposal is and what we would need in order to complete this trail. And then we can take the feedback from the property owner to you all and determine how we proceed next.
Next steps.
Mayor, if I can ask a question just for my own clarification. Are we talking about an easement or are we talking about purchase of property? Purchase or easement?
It would be,
Yes. So honestly, I think it could be either one. Sometimes we do right away, but if property owner prefers an easement for any reason at all, that would be absolutely fine. I think from a value perspective, the cost will be the same. I'm sure we'll have to pay something for an easement, so it really won't matter whether it's easement or right away.
Thank you.
Could you explain the difference, just for general information?
The right of way implies full ownership by the township. An easement would imply that the property owner maintains ownership, but we have a right of access for the limited purpose of the trail.
Thank you. Okay, I think we're good to do like a poll.
yeah, I think so.
Madam Clerk?
Want me to call the vote?
And just so we understand.
All it is we're,
In agreement
a consensus to engage the property owner, inform that property owner of our plans and what we would like to do, and get a response back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Jim, thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
You
Thank you.
certainly do not have to stay.
That's okay.
Okay. This brings us now to the public participation portion of our meeting for a 5-minute minimum. Seeing none?
No, yeah,
Oh, okay, come forward.
I'm just waiting to see if anybody else wanted to speak. Kathleen Norsha, 35 Davison Avenue. It was mentioned at the last meeting that the council was thinking on establishing a task force to consider options for the neighborhood service center. An option that I feel should be considered is the sale of the center to a nonprofit for a nominal cost. Perhaps to Fred Marine's Eggers Crossing Village. As he had mentioned at a previous meeting, along with a group of like-minded residents, they would like to take over the operation of the center. During my tenure with the township, 1975 until my retirement, the township has been making repairs and upkeep to the building over and above what would be required on a normal use basis and can only be considered as unsupervised abusive use of the facility and equipment. Over the years, the township has spent millions of dollars to make these repairs. The amount is in addition to the yearly stipend, which is currently $108,000. Selling the center would definitely be a savings to the taxpayers. By having the citizens group operate and provide on-site supervision of the use of the center would be a win-win situation for all residents of the township. Mr. Marine and his citizens group would have complete control of the center. The residents would still be able to use it, and the overall cost to the residents would be eliminated. The other subject that I wanted to mention is 3131 Princeton Pike. The township currently has 5 pilots: Project Freedom until 2030, Heritage Village until 2041, Lawrence Plaza until 2048, Brookshire until 2037, and Eggers Crossing Village until 2052. All are now 30-year pilots and will probably be renewed at the end of their span as they should be. 2 started out as 40 years. There was no significant outcry, if any at all, to these pilots. And I totally understand and agree that these are very worthwhile and needed projects. My personal feeling about 3131 is that allowing this pilot is much better than potentially winding up with a property similar to the eyesore on Whitehead Road, and if left vacant and possibly abandoned, produce no revenue whatsoever to the township.
Good evening, Nick Spare, 116 Oakland Terrace. I didn't prepare a written speech. This is just something that came to light at our last Recreation Advisory Committee meeting. And I think one of our members spoke at the last council meeting. So I was a little troubled from what I understood happened 2 months ago from Mayor Ryan, which is absent tonight. Or Mayor Councilman Ryan. I think a comment was made about cutting volunteers from these boards. And I don't know, I've never thought to hear the words cut and volunteers in the same sentence, because the people that are on this group and any of the committees that are throughout the township volunteer their time, are taken away from their families to help out their communities. And there was a statement made that there were going to be cuts to a committee that you guys are all aware what the rec committee does. I mean, from Memorial Day to Community Day, which we were just at, the really cool one at the lake, Valentine's Day, 4th of July. I mean, it's a committee of 11. We're one short My understanding was there was an applicant and the applicant was denied. No reason given, but one short puts it at 10. And I think on Community Day, given all our members, I think we had about half in attendance. So we were 5 people helping out for the whole day at Community Day. And we had an applicant that was denied for no reason given. So if someone could maybe answer to that reason, if there was other applicants considered. But mostly, I would like Councilman Ryan to answer, but he's not here, what the significance of his statement of, were we gonna cut the board committees? And if that's the case, just give me a reason why these committees are being cut. I mean, we're volunteers, we're not getting paid, there's no financial hardship on the township. The only hardship is taking me away from my family to be with the community, which we try to teach our kids to be involved in the community and to volunteer. And somehow we want to cut committees when we can barely get enough people to be on these committees. Something to consider, and I would like an answer as to why that statement was made to cut committees, volunteer committees. No financial burden on anybody. Thank you.
Okay, seeing no additional comments, we'll move now to the next item on the agenda. Review and revision of agenda. I don't believe there are any revisions to the agenda for tonight. We've done that already. Okay, and now, if we can have a motion for the adoption of minutes.
I guess I will do it. I'd like to move 8A, regular meeting of April 2nd, 2024.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Abstain, I was not here.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes.
Mayor, I'll move 8B, regular meeting April 16th, 2024.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes,
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. This brings us to the awarding and or rejecting of bids. Anything? Yep, okay. And then we will now go to the introduction of ordinances. And there are none, okay. Adoption of ordinances. None. This brings us to the manager's report.
Yeah, I just have one item, just to provide an update to the community and to you all, is that we've committed to transitioning from utilizing an outside company to do our 911 emergency call center to in-house. That process has begun. We have ads out for interviewing and the vetting process that is going on. In addition, Chief Longo is the point person with regard to this. He's taken on the project. He and I are working together on it, and we have a meeting with Mercer County officials who are undergoing working on a new equipment for 911 dispatch. And we wanted to connect to see if there's any opportunities among Lawrence Township and the county to enhance both of our systems and have them work together for present or in the future, and to discuss any sharing opportunities as well. That's scheduled for, I think, 2 weeks from today. I'll certainly report back to you whether or not it was fruitful, but we hope so. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
quick question. Are we still on target to transition for March 2025?
Yeah, it will be April 2025.
April.
Okay, do we have anything, the attorney's report? It's not until,
You may know.
yep,
No
no.
matter.
Madam Clerk, do you have anything to report?
Just a little bit about the elections. We know that's coming up, but the next time we see each other will be after the election. So, October 15th, which is today, as reported, is the deadline. The early voting period is October 26th through November 3rd. We do have, our location here is at the Mercer County, Library. Deadline to apply for mail-in ballot, October 29. Deadline for in-person ballot applications is up to 3 p.m. November 4th. And election day is November 5th. So we hope to have a great, smooth election.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. Do we have any unfinished business? New business? Okay, this brings us to the next opportunity for public participation. This is a 3-minute limitation, not to include any items on the agenda. Seeing none?
Coming up again.
Sure. Depending on if you sign the sheet.
I did not have to sign the sheet.
Okay, you can sign it after, make your copy and make your
Okay,
comments.
you got it.
Same question as before, council people. Is there in fact any consideration being given to cutting the volunteer committees? I don't like the deer in headlights stare. With your elected officials, I expect an answer. All right, Mayor Ryan, or Councilman Ryan's not here to back his question up that he stated 2 meetings ago. I would like an answer today, however it works. You guys pull yourselves, whatever you do. I want to know if in fact there's any consideration being given to cutting volunteers from all the committees in Lawrence Township.
So, excuse me, what's your name again, sir? I'm sorry.
Nick Sparrow.
Mr. Sparrow, how are you?
Good.
Unfortunately, the rules of procedure, you can make your comment, but the council is not obliged to respond to your comment. They may have someone reach out to you to answer the question, but they're not obliged to.
Well, I
answer
would
the
be
question.
very considerate of the council if they could reach out with an answer, because it seems that this is the second and third time this question's been asked and no answers have been given.
I understand.
So I like to see some validity behind the statement that was given. If there's in fact reasons for why the statement was made, as a taxpayer, I'd like to know why these decisions are being made. So if that's the case, thank you. Someone can reach out to me, that would be great.
If you could provide me with your email address, and then I'll give it to council, maybe do it with the council as well as.
We have.
You have it?
Yeah, I'm very aware. But
Understood, thank you.
again, and I understand, but I'm very disappointed that nothing can be said here. I understand your process.
Do anything?
Thank you, everyone, for your time.
I will say that, for my affordable housing, shade tree and, environmental green advisory committee, there are no planned reductions.
Thank you, Councilman Bobbitt.
I will just say ditto for public safety and growth and redevelopment.
Thank you, Councilman Perry.
From the senior center, no cut. For recreation, being a liaison, I don't want to see a cut.
Thank you, Councilman Mackey.
So we are up to any other,
Yeah. Any other public comment? Seeing none, we will close public comment.
18 resolutions. A, bond acceptance. Any objection to accepting 18A through 18H? Excuse me. Mr. Bobbitt?
No, in one block.
So I would like to make a motion to move in block resolutions 18A through 18H. Madam Clerk?
Is there a second?
You need a second?
I'll second, moving 18A1 through H5 in block.
Now, Madam Clerk, if you call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobby?
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki?
Yes,
Ms. Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Farmer?
Yes. Okay, this brings us to council initiatives and liaison reports. Are there any? Okay, seeing none, moves us now to written communication. I'll just, share with the public, we received an invitation to join at an open house to celebrate the 100th birthday of Veronica Ann Pickering. We have quite a few centenarians in our township. I'm looking forward to having conversations with them and seeing what their secrets are. I know that at least, I feel like close to 6 or more in the township that are celebrating 100 plus. So, her event is happening Sunday, November 24th, at 1 to 4 at Veronica's house. Everyone on council should have received a copy of the invitation. I just want to share that.
Amazing.
Yeah, she looks great. I mean, I recognize her from around town events. Also, received communication from the League of Municipalities regarding the annual conference in Atlantic City with regards to ADA compliance. And I believe everyone against it has received a copy and if necessary will submit any ADA compliance needs. Okay, at this point, we are going to go into executive session. If we could have a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session.
And if I could have a second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. We thank the public for attending tonight's meeting and, we'll see you soon. Have a good night and be well. Travel safely.
Jim.